Hey everybody, and welcome to Butts and Guts Volume 1 presented by Better University. We're going to be starting off in just a second here with a mobility routine. To begin, we're going to start off with some cat and cow. So let's go ahead, pull up nice and tall, get some deep breaths in. If you want to up the intensity of this, you can pop up onto the knees, and you can do your cat-cow from bear. All right, next we're going to find ourselves a wall or a raised up surface because we are going to do an Arthur stretch. Let me get those hip flexors good and open. Woo. About 20 more seconds. We're going to move on to the other side. And pretty soon here, I'm going to have to move this obstacle that is on my yoga mat. 8 seconds. Bam! All right. Now I'll move on to the other side. Woo! That flexor's tight. About 20 more seconds, we'll be finished up here. Next, we're going to be moving into pigeon. You can choose left or right to start. Doesn't matter. We're going to be doing both. 3, 2, 1. All right, pigeon's up next. I'm going to move this lump of a creature. Here, why don't you just sleep right up here? There you go. All right. And it's time to pigeon. You know, there is one good thing I'll say for nice, hot, and humid weather. Definitely makes the muscles a little bit more pliable. It's almost like doing hot yoga. Whew. About 10 more seconds, so we'll be switching to the other side. Good. About 10 more seconds. After this, we're going to be moving into a seated straddle stretch. Tonight we're going to be focusing on one side at a time while we're in our seated straddle, however. All right. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves into our straddle position. Now you can go left or right first, your choice. I'm going to be going to the right first, personally. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm turning towards this side, and I'm going to be working on just really opening and getting this leg to stretch. I'm going to start to play with the positioning of my feet. Woo! Starting to draw back on my foot. Pointing the toes. Drawing it back. Stretching a little further. All right, got about 15 seconds left. I'm going to start to play with some rotation. First, we're going to rotate to the outside. Woo! Now the inside, which I know is going to be tight. Oh, yeah, very tight. Whoa. All right. Take a break at neutral for a second. Because next, we're going to be going to the left. Or you'll be going to the right, depending on which side you started with. And here we go. First, we'll start with some extension and flexion of the foot. Woo! Ha ha ha! Woo! All right, 15 seconds left. I'm going to start to play with some rotation. Wow, a lot more range on the opening of this side, but I already knew that. The inside, still pretty tight, but not as tight as the right. All right, we're going to be moving into our dog-to-dog stretch next. Now remember, while we're doing this, we want to make sure that we are keeping our hands firmly planted. This is where our effort force comes from. It is our legs that we will be adjusting. Nice flat feet. Widen out as much as you need to get those flat. Push back into a hinge. Hold it for just a couple seconds. And then we'll transition into an up dog. And then we'll push back to down dog. All right. Next up, we're going to move into a standing straddle. So that is the other name for the straddle hinge. Position, toes pointed forward. We'll drop forward into that hinge till the hamstrings start to tighten and lock. And we're just going to kind of play around with the hips a little bit, pushing left, pushing right, getting that stretch to move up nice and deep into that hip girdle. You can rotate your torso a bit with it. If they really start to open up, you can drop down a little bit. Make sure you keep that good grounding at the floor. Never forget, the ground is your body's biggest lever point. And another point to take away from that, where the feet go, the body follows. Next up, we're going to do some bridging for the hips. Remember, there's a couple different ways we can play around with this. If you're still working on getting your bridge form, then that's where you're going to stop for tonight. You can hold that pose. Make sure those glute muscles are good and active, not being overpowered by the hamstrings. Breathing, keeping that core tension, spine flush, ribs flush. Don't let your body fly away from itself. About 5 more seconds. All right. Next up, we're going to do some quadruped hip circles. Now, some cueing mechanisms I want you to remember for this is first and foremost, full extension of the leg. Really reach those toes back like you're trying to draw on the wall with that big toe. Second cue mechanism is to make sure you draw from the hip, not the knee, not the ankle. Third cueing mechanism is don't shift your weight towards the leg that's holding you up. Shift your weight away from the leg that's holding you up and feel your core activate more and more. Obviously, don't go so far that you can't keep yourself in this position, but make sure you're pushing that weight out to get that core engagement. Good. We'll rest that out for a second, and we're going to do the other side. Whew. It is toasty in here. 5 seconds. It's the same thing as the other. Make sure that we extend back so we can draw with that full leg. Shift your weight into the open. Don't shy away from making your core work harder. Good. Next up, we're going to do some opening and closing of the gate. Now this one you can break up a couple different ways. The way I'm going to do it tonight is I'm going to first start by opening in an alternating pattern. Now you can of course just focus on one leg and open and then close. You could start with closing. A little bit of a hip pop going on with my right side. I'm going to slow it down a bit. Pay a little bit more attention to where my tilt is. Good. And make sure that we don't get a hip pop. Woo! All right, now that we've done all that opening, guess what? It's time to close. Can't open the gate without closing the gate. What, were you raised in a barn? 3 seconds. And here we go. So now to close, we step over. Take your time, pay attention to the feedback that your hips and your core muscles are giving you. We don't want to feel pops or snags or drags in our hip. If you do feel a pop, snap, or a drag when you're doing these motions, stop, slow down, and pay attention to what your body's telling you. Are you engaging something in that leg a little bit too hard? Are you not engaging something in the leg? How's your pelvic tilt? Does something feel tight? These are all questions that when you ask yourself, eventually you will lead yourself to the answer as to why it's happening in the first place. But I will tell you, ignoring that is definitely not the way to go. Last up is going to be our squat stretch. Slightly wider than normal squat stance. Go ahead and grab underneath those toes. We're going to drive our legs into the earth like we're doing a leg press of the ground. Get everything to activate. Big push, big press. Drive up into a stretch for the hammies. Bring it back down. Woo, that stretch. All right, and that's going to do it for our warm-up. So tonight for our exercises, we're going to start with squats and alternating leg extensions. We're going to move into quadruped window wipers, lunge with a knee raise, leg raises, fire hydrants, boat taps, and then finally donkey kicks. Now, if you have a mini circle band, or if you have any mini circle bands, you're more than welcome to utilize one of these tonight for some added resistance to a couple of these exercises. So, as I will demonstrate. Our first one's going to be our squat with our extension. So we drop into a squat position, we come back up, and we extend one leg back, making sure we get the hamstring and the glute fired up. Squat, extend. Squat, extend. This is a little bit of balance that's going to be in play there. After that, we'll drop to our quadruped position. And we'll do our window wipers, alternating sides. Following our window wipers, we'll do some lunges with a knee raise. Step back to lunge, raise the knee. Step back to lunge, raise the knee. Following that, backs. Core engaged, back in the floor. Don't let the spine bend. If your legs and the spine bends, they are too heavy. Bend your legs to make them lighter. Breathe into the ground. Following our leg raises, this is another one that you can use the band for if you so choose. Keep your hips squared up to the floor. And we're going to raise into the hip for a fire hydrant. And switch. And switch. And switch. Don't let your hips follow this exercise. And after that, we're going to take a seat on our sit bones. Lean back. Legs in the air. One at a time. Touch your heel to the ground. Heel to the ground. These are called boat taps. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. And then last but not least, we'll kick it off with some alternating donkey kicks. Sorry, this is another one you can use the band for. So there's 3 banded exercises. All right. Switch our timer over. Oh man, I am dying. 10 seconds on the clock. Squats with extensions are first. Here we go. Squat, extend. Squat, extend. Squat, extend. Squat, extend. Oh man, this humidity is killing me. I'm sticking to everything. Sticking to my mat. Sticking to my band. Good. Next up's going to be our window wipers. Whew. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, skidoo. Woo! Next up, lunges with a knee raise. 10 seconds. Ready, and go. Woo! All right. Leg raises is next. 10 seconds. Three, two, woo! Fire hydrants coming up next. Here we go. Woo! Boat taps are next. Let's get on those sit bones. Here we go. Such a deceiving core exercise. Hi. Okay. Last up, donkey kicks. Here we go. Bam! All right. Take a quick little break. And we'll start all over again. 40-second warning. Twenty seconds. Ten seconds. Here we go. Squat, extension, squat. Whew. Quadruped window wipers. Three, two, skidoo. Whew. Next up, lunge with a knee raise. I think I'm going to step off my mat. Getting kind of sick of sticking to it. 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lunge, raise. Lunge, raise. Whew. All right, leg raises are next. Three, two, woo! Fire hydrants. Here we go. Okay. Boat taps are next. I'm just going to leave my band on. You don't have to. Whew. Whew. 5 seconds. Whew. Woof. Okay. Donkey kicks. Here we go. Oh, no. Now here we go. Bam! All right. That's 2 rounds down. 60-second breather. For our last 2 rounds, we're going to shift things up a little bit. The exercises we've been alternating on. We're not going to alternate for the next 2 rounds. So you're going to do one side for round 3, other side for round 4. 30-second warning. Twenty seconds. 10 seconds. 3, 2, skidoo. Just because I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm going to do all of round 3 with a right leg focus. Woo! Window wipers next. Again, I'm going to focus the right side. 3, 2, skidoo. Whew. Okay. Lunge with a knee raise. And again, I'm focusing my right side, so I'm actually going to be stepping back with the left and driving the left leg up. Whew. We're going to step off the mat so we stop sticking to it. 3, 2, here we go. For a little added difficulty, I'm not going to touch back to the middle in between. Whoop. Except when I lose my balance like that. Woo! Okay. Next up, leg raises. Now this is not one that you alternate on. 3 seconds. Woo! Fire hydrants next. And yes, you betcha, right leg for me. Here we go. Boat taps. Again, not one you need to alternate for. Whew. Eight seconds. Come on, keep that work up. Woo! Last up in the round, donkey kicks. And you betcha, right leg. Woo! All right. 3, 2, here we go. Woo! Now my glute does not like to activate on the right side right there. So I got to really take that focus and emphasize getting that activation. It's probably one of the reasons why doing isolated exercises from side to side like that is so good for you. You can take a little bit more time. You can really focus on what is or is not working. Because remember, about here, we're all about the quality of the movement, not the quantity or how much you sweat, although those are very important. Overall, it is the quality of the movement that is going to drive the adaptation and the change that we are looking for. Here we go, everybody. Round 4. Today, tonight, this time, left leg. Woo! Here we go. Squat extension. Woo! Window wipers next. Coming at your left side. 3, 2, skidoo. Woo! All right, lunges with knee raise. Doing left leg, so that means I'm going to lunge back with the right, and the right's going to drive up. We're going to keep our weight on the left. 3, 2, here we go. Lunge and drive. Lunge and drive. Lunge and drive. If you feel like you're losing your balance, if you feel like you're putting too much weight on your back leg, slow down. Become obsessed with the quality of your movement. Woo, yeah. Leg raises next. Three, 2, fire hydrants. Left leg. Ooh. Just having trouble finding the inside of my band. Here we go. 4 seconds. Woo! Boat tap time. 7, 3, 2, ay, 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 okay. Whew. Donkey kicks last. Ay. Whew. Here we go. Left leg. Woo! And that, as the kids say, is that. Hope you've enjoyed today's Butts and Guts of Volume 1. Thanks for tuning in.